Zootopia 2 is an amazing movie, so in this video, let's talk about the story and take a closer look at the film as a whole, because it really delivers on a lot of levels. We'll go through the main plot, talk about what's going on with the characters, and try to understand why this sequel works so well as a continuation of the first movie. Let's break everything down into parts so it's easier to follow the story with each character. To start, Judy and Nick are the focus, because their partnership is the heart of the movie and also where a lot of the conflict comes from.
Is my discomfort hilarious to you?
No, I'm sorry. You're right. We are partners. And whenever I'm uncomfortable, you are always very considerate of my feelings. Look out, snakeskin!
In the first film, they were an incredible team. They caught Bellwether, proved everyone wrong, and it felt like everything ended perfectly for them. But in this movie, we see a different side of their relationship, where they're not really connecting or working together as smoothly as before. During their police work, they struggle to get on the same page and truly understand each other. Judy is still super enthusiastic and loves to jump into situations headfirst, always chasing justice with a lot of energy. Nick, on the other hand, is more relaxed, laid back, and uses sarcasm to deal with things, which creates a natural clash between the two. This difference in personality becomes the main source of tension, because they need to learn how to cooperate better and show everyone that a bunny and a fox really can be successful partners. Things get so serious that they even end up going to therapy sessions together, which they're forced to attend by Chief Bogo in order to try to fix their issues. So the central conflict of the film really revolves around their partnership and whether they can grow past their differences. The second major element in the movie is the mystery surrounding the history of Zootopia itself. In the story, the city is celebrating its 100th anniversary, along with the anniversary of the weather walls, which are basically the reason so many different kinds of animals are able to live together in Zootopia in the first place. There's also a creator behind this whole system, and at this point in the plot, the focus is on the Lynxley family, especially their leader, Milton. Their ancestor, Ebenezer Lynxley, is believed to be the one who originally created all of this. On top of that, there are no snakes or other reptiles living in Zootopia, and the movie hints that there's a specific reason for that. This mystery is completely tied to the Lynxley family and becomes a crucial part of the story the film is trying to tell. Ebenezer Lynxley, the guy mentioned earlier, is actually the one behind everything. He is the person who took credit for creating Zootopia, the one who supposedly had the big vision of building a place where all animals could live together in peace. But the twist is that the real mind behind this idea was actually a snake. In the movie, the first snake we really get to know is Gary. Judy and Nick start out chasing him because they think he is the villain of the story. They believe he is about to steal a journal, a very important book that contains all the evidence about what really happened in the past and proves that the snakes were never the bad guys.
Snakes never hurt anyone. We aren't the bad guys. They are. And this journal holds the secret that will prove it.
What makes things even more interesting is that Gary is the only one who can actually see a hidden message on the cover of the book using his heat vision, which shows that there is more going on than anyone realizes. Once Judy and Nick discover that something is off and that the whole situation feels suspicious, they decide to trust Gary and help him instead of treating him like a criminal. From that moment on, they become targets. Judy and Nick end up being wanted by the police and by pretty much everyone in power, including the Lynxley family. The Lynxleys know that if the truth about the past comes out, their entire power and reputation will collapse, so they are willing to do anything to stop it, even if that means getting rid of Judy and Nick. When the movie explains the real history behind Zootopia, we learn that Gary's great-great-grandmother, Agnes the Snake, was the true creator of the weather walls. She came up with the technology that made it possible for different climates to exist in the same city, allowing all kinds of animals to live together. All she needed was someone to invest in her project. That investor ended up being Ebenezer Lynxley. He saw how incredible her invention was and decided he wanted it for himself, along with all the power and glory that came with it. Ebenezer then set up a cruel plan. He framed the snakes to make them look dangerous and untrustworthy. He even went as far as killing his own maid, who was a tortoise, and blaming Agnes for the murder. With that, he convinced everyone that she was the killer. Since he was in a powerful position, people believed him. He also forged a fake patent with his name on it, making it look like he was the one who invented the weather walls. On top of that, he didn't just go after snakes. He punished all reptiles by expanding the land and reshaping the city in a way that left no room for them to live in Zootopia at all. Thankfully, before everything fell apart, Agnes managed to hide the original patent, the real proof that she was the true creator, inside her house. After this tragedy, the entire area that once belonged to snakes and other reptiles vanished from the map. It was buried under snow and kept hidden for 100 years. In the present timeline of the movie, this is the moment when Judy and Nick are about to uncover the truth, bring that lost place back into the story, and finally fight to restore justice for Gary, his family, and all the reptiles who were erased from Zootopia's history. Pobert Lynxley is the main member of the Lynxley family that really matters in this part of the story, because he is the youngest son and ends up playing a huge role in the chaos that's happening. He has always been overlooked by his family, especially by his father Milton, and they basically treat him like a joke, someone who is not taken seriously and never truly respected. Because of that, he becomes desperate to prove his worth and do something that will finally make his family see him as important. What Pobert decides to do is pretend to switch sides. He acts like he is on the same team as Gary the Snake and Judy. He joins their group as if he wants to help expose the truth about what the Lynxley family did in the past. On the surface, it looks like he is rebelling against his family and trying to do the right thing. In reality, he just wants to stay close to them so he can keep an eye on what they discover. His goal is to follow them around, pretend to be their friend, and wait for the moment when they get close to finding the original patent that proves the truth. Once they are very close to uncovering this original patent, the document that shows who really created the weather walls, Pobert's real plan is revealed. He doesn't want the truth to come out at all. What he actually intends to do is destroy the patent, burn it, and stop the evidence from ever being shown to the world. By doing this, he hopes to protect his family's power and reputation. In his mind, if he can save the Lynxley name and keep them in control, his father and the rest of the family will finally respect him and see him as a hero instead of a failure. So, in the end, he betrays them. He turns on them at the worst possible moment and almost kills Judy, almost kills Gary the Snake, and is fully willing to kill Nick as well just to protect his family's secret. During the fight, Nick manages to think fast and help save Judy. He throws Gary the anti-venom pen that Gary always carries with him in case he accidentally bites someone. Gary uses it to cure Judy, which saves her life and ruins Pobert's plan. Because of this, the Lynxley family's entire scheme falls apart. Their attempt to hide the truth and stay in power collapses, and the real story finally comes out for everyone to see. The public learns what really happened, and the snakes and other reptiles are finally given their place back in Zootopia instead of being pushed out or erased. The city stops expanding its land just to exclude them, and they are allowed to return and live there like everyone else. Judy and Nick's dynamic in this movie is the most interesting part, so now that the plot is clear, it's time to talk about their relationship in more detail. A lot of people went into this film expecting something openly romantic between them, thinking this would finally be the movie where they get together, but things do not play out exactly the way many imagined. There are definitely hints and tension, but it is not a straightforward love story. Disney clearly understands that the audience likes Judy and Nick as a couple, so the movie spends a lot of time teasing their connection instead of fully confirming it. There are several moments that make it obvious they care about each other in a way that goes beyond a simple work partnership. One of the clearest examples is the scene where they go undercover pretending to be a family, with Judy acting as the mother and Nick as the father. In that scene, Nick casually calls her babe, which feels very intentional and shows how comfortable they're together.
You gotta leave. You can't be here.
Oh.
Wait. He's right, gosh darn it. You are right, sir. I guess we should have thought this through, right, babe?
The movie uses moments like this, plus the way they look at each other, to suggest that there is something deeper going on emotionally. There is also a specific moment where the way they stare at each other makes it seem like this could finally be the scene where they confess their feelings and say out loud how much they mean to one another. For viewers, it really looks like the moment is about to happen. But in the end, that direct confession never comes. The scene still makes it clear that they are extremely important to each other, yet the movie stops just short of turning it into a full-on romantic declaration. So in this film, their relationship is focused much more on them growing as partners, learning to understand each other better, and working through their differences, while still showing that they deeply care. The movie never outright states they are a couple, but it definitely shows there is something between them that goes beyond normal friendship. It stays in that space where their bond is emotional, strong, and meaningful, but not labeled or fully explored as romance. The story uses this subtle approach to keep the tension alive while still centering on their teamwork and personal growth. One of the most revealing parts of their relationship comes from the carrot pen, which has always been a symbol of their connection since the first film. At one point in this movie, during one of their arguments and clashes, the pen ends up getting broken, which feels like a visual representation of how strained things are between them. By the end though, Nick gives Judy a new one, and this gesture carries a lot of emotional weight. When he gives it to her, he compliments her and says "love you partner," which is a big deal because it mixes affection with their professional bond. Judy decides to record that line and keep it on the pen, holding on to the moment. After the credits, there is an extra little detail that says a lot without using words. The movie shows that Judy keeps the pen on her window, and she repeatedly replays the audio of Nick saying "love you partner" over and over. The fact that she listens to it many times makes it very clear she has strong feelings for him and treasures what he said. It is a quiet but powerful way of showing that she cares about him in a special way, even if the movie never officially calls it romance. At the very end, there is also a small visual hint for the future, a feather falls, confirming that we're gonna have Zootopia 3. Birds will finally appear, and that the next story could revolve around them in some way. This tiny tease opens the door for new species and new conflicts in the future. Overall, this film is genuinely amazing, delivers a great story, and handles Judy and Nick's relationship in a way that feels emotional and carefully teased, without ever outright confirming a romance.